Yo, what's going on YouTube? Nathan here. So a few weeks ago, I did my unboxing and initial impressions of the Nothing Ear 1 truly wireless headphones. These are a brand new product from a brand new company that just started. And after a couple weeks of using them and comparing them to other headphones I have, I am now ready to give my honest review of these headphones. And I just want to put it out there. Before I got these, I was super excited. Like, I was fanboying hard over them. I couldn't wait till they came in. And so I'm gonna leave all of my biases out the door and give you my honest review of how they've been for me specifically. So just a few things I wanna say before the review. I have in my free time been making channel updates and stuff to make the channel better. And so as you saw from the intro, I drew my own logo and made my own intro. I did it all by hand on Procreate, and I really hope you enjoyed that. It took me a while to make it, but I really like how it came out. And if any of you wanna know how I did that by myself, drop a comment down below and maybe I'll make a video on how I made those. And the second thing I want to bring up is that we just passed 100 subscribers, and that is huge. It happened so quick. Just 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how we just passed 50 subscribers, and you guys are all showing me so much love and support down in the comments on how my videos are, and it really does keep me going. And I just have to thank each and every one of you for subscribing, and anyone new who's here, welcome. This is the journey. And I'm just super excited for that, and I just had to say something about it. With that being said, if any of y'all are into tech videos like unboxings, reviews, stuff like that, then subscribe so you don't miss out on any content I have coming in the future, because I do plan to keep rolling these out. And so without further ado, here's my review of the Nothing Ear 1 truly wireless headphones. So the first thing I'm going to talk about with these headphones is the design of the actual earbuds themselves. So these come in at a height of 1.13 inches. They have a width of 0.83 inches. A depth of 0.91 inches, and they weigh 4.7 grams. These are very lightweight headphones, lighter than the AirPods Pro, and I do notice a difference between the two. With these in, they're almost not there, hence nothing. It's like you're wearing nothing. As long as you have the right tip size, then these have no problem staying in your ears. I've worked out in these plenty of times already, and I've never had a problem with one of them falling out. These have an in-ear tip design, which means that they go actually into your ear canal and they don't just sit there like the original AirPods. And so what this does is it creates a passive noise cancellation. And so when you put them in, it'll block out slight sounds, and it really helps when you do put on the active noise cancellation mode with these. These also have the stem tip design, and there's also touch functions on these. You can go into the app and customize what these taps do on each earbud. But essentially a double tap will play and pause your audio. A triple tap, depending on what you set in the app itself. For my right earbud, I triple tap, it'll go to the next song. I triple tap on my left earbud, it'll go to the previous song. And then there's a tap and hold feature, which will switch between transparency mode, active noise cancellation mode, and then passive noise cancellation. And then another thing with the touch controls is that these have a slide feature. So when you slide up on them, it's gonna raise the volume, and when you slide down on them, it's gonna decrease the volume. I do like this feature, as you can't change the volume on AirPods themselves. The right earbud has a little red dot on it, and the left earbud has a little white dot on it, and this also corresponds to the charging case. On the right side, there's a red dot in there, on the left side, there's a white dot. So it's easy to tell which one goes where in the case, and it also just adds a little aspect design to them. And I do like that little pop of color with the red. Now, talking about the actual physical build of these are built very well, and I love the transparency look on these. The whole thing isn't transparent, which is a little disappointing, because I know from original concepts they wanted to go for that look, but I'm assuming the engineering just wasn't there yet. But the stems are fully transparent and you can see through them, and I think it's super cool how they were able to make the outside just as beautiful as the inside. So now moving on to the design of the case. These have a height of 2.3 inches, a width of 2.3 inches, a depth of 0.93 inches, and they weigh 57.4 grams. So going around the case here, on the side, there is the Bluetooth connection button. On the side of that is a USB charging port. Keep going around is the back side, which has the hinge. Going back to the front, there's a little magnet that keeps it there. And when you open it up, you can see they sit in there. There's a little LED light to tell you if it's charged, if it needs charging, if it's trying to connect to something. And on the top of the case, there's this little divot. And so again, it's kind of a gimmick. You can fidget spin it, I guess. It's not that satisfying because it's not centered, but there's a function to it, and it does hold down the headphones. It kind of pushes down the headphones when they're in the case, and it just makes sure that they're secure in there and that they are charging at all times. So the next category I want to talk about is the battery life with these. And so with the headphones and the case combined, they can get a total battery life of 34 hours with active noise cancellation turned off. And with it on, they can get a total of 24 hours. I myself have not had the best experience with battery life, but I'll get into that more later on in the video. So nowhere on the website is an actual rating for the battery life of the headphones themselves, but if I remember seeing it somewhere else, they're around 4.5 hours, I'm pretty sure. I'll double check myself and put it somewhere if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are rated at. So like I said earlier, these charge via USB-C, and the cable is actually clear itself, it's transparent, and it does look really cool, but it's pretty short, which is something to point out. They also come with 3 different size ear tips, small, medium, and large, and the medium come pre-installed on the headphones. A really nice feature about these is that they do support Qi wireless charging, and so they work on my wireless chargers, and I do really like that about them. So when I come home from a long day of school, I just put them on there and they start charging up right away. And I haven't had a problem with that yet. So one part I want to touch on with the battery life of the headphones themselves, a reason why the headphones are so light is because they took away part of the battery that could have been there. It would add more weight though. And so with that, the battery life is rated less than the AirPods Pro, the Powerbeats Pro. They are lighter, but I would have taken a thicker / heavier design for a little extra battery life in these. So some other features I want to talk about here is that these have 3 high definition microphones. These help with picking up sounds for the active noise cancellation to work, as well as these are the microphones that will pick up your voice when you're talking with someone on the phone. These also have in-ear detection, which I will talk about a little later in this video. These have fast pairing, and I have noticed that these do pair extremely quick to any device. That is a very nice feature to have. These have an IPX4 rating, which means that they're splash proof. So if you're using them at the gym and they get wet, if you're walking out and it's raining, you don't have to worry about them breaking or being damaged. They will be protected against that. And these do also have Bluetooth 5.0, so you should get relatively good connection with these. So now moving on to the more audio side of these have an 11.6 millimeter driver, which is larger than the AirPods Pro, which has an 11 millimeter driver. And with this larger driver, you can hear the difference. These do get a little louder than the AirPods Pro, and they have a little more bass than the AirPods Pro. These also get their tuning from Teenage Engineering, which is a quality company. They make a lot of really cool audio devices, so you know you're getting a really good sounding pair of headphones when they're tuned by them. They have hybrid active noise cancellation, which means that they have the ANC and the transparency mode as well, which is very nice for these to have, especially at the price point at what they are. And then inside the app, they also have a built-in equalizer, so you can have it from a balanced to more bass or more treble, whatever your preference is. I leave them on the more bass because that's just kind of like the stuff I'm into, especially when I was working out with them. That extra bass boost really does show, and it's a nice feature to have. So how do they sound? So in my initial first impressions of them, I wasn't too sure if they sounded as good as the AirPods Pro, but after listening to them for a lot longer, they do sound great. They sound really good, especially for $100, which is what these are. You can't go wrong with the sound quality of these. They get really loud, they have really good bass, even at those higher volumes, nothing's really distorting at all. The mids sound nice, and they really do sound good when the noise active cancellation is turned on. There is a big difference, and I almost feel like they get louder, and it's not just like the effect of the noise cancellation itself. For some reason, I just feel that they actually turn up a little bit when you put the noise cancellation on. So for $100 headphones, like, how good can the noise cancellation really be compared to other top-end headphones? And so I went outside one day, did a little work on my laptop, and while I was sitting there, I kept switching between these and the AirPods Pro. I switched multiple times between the two, different songs without music, and I tried a whole bunch of different settings. And my conclusion with the active noise canceling is they are very, very good for what they are. They're pretty much right up there with the AirPods Pro, maybe a hair below. I think the AirPods Pro might block out voices just a tiny bit better, but this does a very good job with blocking out just background noise, which is what the level of most noise canceling headphones are at right now. So one thing I want to talk about is the transparency mode. So the transparency mode does work pretty well. What I want to point out, switching between the AirPods Pro and these, what I did notice is that the AirPods Pro transparency mode is honestly a lot better than these. So the best way that I can describe it to you is that when the AirPods Pro transparency mode is on, it is crystal clear. You can hear things coming in through your headphones. You can hear people's voices. It's right on top of it, pretty instant. With these, it's not as clear. It almost sounds like noise cancellation is off, but there's still a little passive noise cancellation left in your headphones still. So you can hear people talking to you, you can hear people from a distance away, but there's just like a little background sound and it's just not as clear as the AirPods Pro. But again, for $100, you really can't go wrong with how great these do sound. Transparency mode does work. Active noise cancellation works very well. These get loud, they have a lot of bass, and they sound really good. So I also did a noise bleeding test for you. This is what they sound like at 75%. And this is what they sound like at 100% volume. And so here's an audio test with the headphones themselves. I have this connected to my phone right now, and I hope you can hear a difference between my lav mic and these, and to tell whether or not you think these sound good or not. So that covers everything with the headphones themselves. And now I want to get into my own personal experience with these headphones. And so I'm going to put a big asterisk here because these have not been performing well for me at all. And I recently reached out to Nothing and they got back to me pretty quick and they told me that I'm gonna need a replacement and that they're gonna send me one charge free. So everything I'm about to tell you here could just be because I have a faulty pair, but this is what I've experienced and I've looked it up online and it seems that they have some quality control issues at their company. And so what that usually entails is that with the lower price, they're trying to push out these products and they might not meet quality standards, but they're just trying to get them out there or drop the price on these. So it does seem to be a common thing, but again, I could be sent this new pair and all these problems go away. This is everything that I've disliked about these headphones since I've had them. So right off the bat, my biggest gripe with these is the connectivity. These frequently disconnect from my phone for about 1 second. And it'll happen like 3, 4, 5 times in a row. And it's really annoying. Like, I don't really know what causes it. Like, I have big thighs, but like, come on, like, it's Bluetooth, it's in my pocket. Like, it shouldn't have that kind of connection issue. It happens without fail every time I use them. And I would just like to say, yes, these are fully up to date. Yes, my iPhone's fully up to date, and it still keeps happening. So the next thing I don't like about these is that you can't reconnect the headphones without the charging case. So last weekend, I took my headphones without the case, not knowing this problem, and I walked to my car with them on, took them out, disconnected them, put my phone up to my aux, drove to CVS, and so when I disconnected them without the charging case, when I parked my car back and I was at my dorm, took my headphones out, and they just would not reconnect. I don't think they have the ability to. They would not reconnect with my phone, and I don't like that about them. So the next thing I don't like is the in-ear detection. First thing is that when you put them in, they start right away. It's when you take them out. If you take one out, it takes it a good 2 to 3 seconds for them to actually stop playing the music. So when I'm walking through the dining hall and someone stops to see me or stops to talk to me, I take it out and they're talking to me and I can still hear the music coming out of them for a good 2 to 3 seconds. And so I might not hear what they're saying. It's just not instant, and it should be instant. And so that's another thing I wanted to point out to you that I have noticed. Another thing with the ear detection, again, it could just be I have weird ears, I don't know. They will pause frequently without me even taking them out of my ears. And so I don't even leave it on. I go to my settings in the app and I turn off in-ear detection because I'll just be sitting there like stretching out in the gym, both them in, and then it'll just pause. Like, it won't even disconnect like the other issue, they just pause. But again, it happened frequent enough where I just turned off that feature, and it should be a feature that works well. So something else with these that happened recently. This only happened to me once so far, but I gotta point it out to you because it's something that I just didn't like at all. So I was sitting in the dining hall and someone called me and I was on the phone with them. In the middle of the call, this loud, high-pitched sound just came through both earbuds at the same time. Scared the crap out of me. I like took them out, placed them on a table, and I could still hear this super high-pitched sound from the earbuds on the table. and it just kept going. I didn't know what happened. I was still on the line with the other person, so I disconnected them, I reconnected them, and it stopped. But that shouldn't happen with these. Like, that's never happened with my AirPods or my Powerbeats before. So again, I don't know. That's not it. And so the last thing I've noticed is that my right earbud loses battery way faster than my left earbud. And again, I don't like that. So my final thoughts on the Nothing Ear One truly wireless headphones is that these are a great sounding pair of headphones, and for $100, you really can't beat how they sound and the features that they do offer. But with the quality control problem, I don't think I can recommend these for anyone else. You're kind of rolling the dice if you're gonna get a product that works or not, and it's a real big headache to send these overseas to London again. I know I'm probably not gonna get my new pair for a couple weeks now. And again, it's more the software side of stuff. Things that should be working that aren't. The audio sounds great, but it's the connection, in-ear detection, the transparency mode is okay. The battery life on the right one specifically hasn't been good. And so for me to recommend these to you, if you're just in love with the design, who knows, you could get a perfect pair and they'll work for you. But again, I don't want you spending $100 just to get a faulty pair and have to go through what I've gone through. Honestly, my recommendation is to wait for the second generation of these. I don't know what their plan is with these, but I'm hoping maybe a yearly basis, maybe in 2 years from now, they'll come out with the second generation of these where everything will then be perfected finally. So that's gonna be my honest review of the Ear One truly wireless headphones by Nothing. If you like this video, learned something new, or if I helped you make that purchase decision, then please like the video and subscribe down below, as I don't want you to miss any future content I have. And so with that being said, have a great day everyone, and cheers.